Today is 6/19/22, 6/19/22. And remember, you can make it through Jesus by speaking life over your life. All right, today we're coming out of the NIV version. You can come out of whatever version works best for you. Also, remember there's a subscribe button to the right if you feel like subscribing. Right next to that, there's a little bell icon that will notify you anytime any new videos come out. Where the title's at up, where you look at the title, look to the right of the title. There's like a little arrow pointed down, but I wouldn't say it's an arrow, but it's pointed down to the right of the title. Click on that right there. That will give you scriptures that I speak about. That will also give you our email address if you want to email any questions or thoughts. Also, our Cash App address if the Lord lays on your heart that you may feel like you want to donate. That is there as well. Thank you guys for listening along. Now let's get into the lesson. So what I want to talk about today is God has plans for each and every one of us. And to find those plans out, you have to go to him. And those plans are, he sees those plans far down the road. And he already knows everything he wants to do for you if you would come and talk to him. Let me show you what I mean. We're in Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the plans I have for you, declared the Lord. Now you have to look right there. For I know the plans I have for you, declared the Lord. So the Lord is showing you right there, I have plans in place for you. I have things that I want to do for you. Plans to prosper you. He wants you to prosper. He doesn't want you to have harm. He wants you to have hope and a future, not to harm you. So he's not here to harm us. He's here to give us hope and a future. So God is saying, I have these plans for you. Your job is to find out from God what are those plans so you can see the purpose he has for you. Let's keep on going. Isaiah 46:10. I make known the end from the beginning, from ancient times, what is still to come. So the Lord is saying, I can let you know what's getting ready to happen. I can let you know what's going to happen 200 years in advance, 400 years in advance, 700. Doesn't matter. God said, I can let you know what is getting ready to come. I can tell you the plans that I have for you if you come and talk to me. Let's keep on going. Let's keep on going. Let's see this in action. Let's see the plans God has for us. But let's look and see something in action. Now, that was Isaiah 46:10. Now I'm on 1 Chronicles 22. 1 Chronicles 22, and I'm going to start in verse 6. 1 Chronicles 22 in verse 6. Then he called for his son Solomon and charged him to build a house for the Lord, the God of Israel. David said to Solomon, my son, I had in my heart to build a house for the name of the Lord, right? But this word of the Lord came to me. You have shed much blood and fought many wars. You are not to build a house for my name because you have shed much blood on the earth in my sight. So David had a great thought. Man, I want to build something for the Lord. I want the Lord to know how grateful I am, who he is, and I want to build him a house. So David presented that to the prophet. The prophet said, go and do what you want to do. And then the Lord came back to the prophet and said, tell David this. He said, David, I love you, but you shed too much blood on the earth in my sight. You cannot be the one to build this house. But look at verse 9. But you will have a son. Now, mind you, he hadn't had a son yet. Look, but you will have a son who will be a man of peace and rest. So God's already telling David, you won't, but I'm going to let you have a son. And this son of yours, he's going to be a man of peace and rest. And I will give him rest from all his enemies on every side. His name will be Solomon. And I will grant Israel peace and quiet during his reign. So the Lord's already telling David, you're going to have a son. He's going to be a man of peace and rest. I'm going to give him peace on every side. His name is going to be Solomon. So remember, God is already telling David the plans in advance before Solomon comes. Already telling him the son's name and the plans that God has for him. Now, remember what I said. Yes, God has plans, but you have to accept those plans. So David was going to build, but he didn't. He helped his son to build. And now he's telling his son what God had told him. So you see here, when God is saying, I have plans for you, this is where this comes in. Solomon wasn't even here yet, and God had plans for him already. So remember, God is no respecter of a person. He has plans for you as well. You just have to go and find those plans. Now remember, Solomon wasn't here yet, but God was laying out the breakdown for David before Solomon came. Okay? So letting you know that God has plans for you as well. Let's keep on going so I can show you another example of that. Now we're going to Genesis 15, and you can look at 12 through 15 right here. This is Genesis. So what happened here was Abram fell into a deep sleep, and a dark cloud came over him. And this is what the Lord said. Then the Lord said to him, know for certain, so this is for sure, know for certain that for 400 years your descendants will be strangers in a country not of their own, and they will be enslaved and mistreated. So this is in Genesis. You notice this happens in Exodus. So God's already telling Abram in advance what's going to happen once he has descendants. He's telling him this is going to happen. It hasn't happened yet. Verse 14, but I will punish the nation that they serve. And you saw all this happen in Exodus. But God told Abram this in Genesis. So now he'd already told him what was going to happen. So now we got to start this happening because he's already saying this is going to happen. Now let's see how it starts to happen. Genesis 37, there's a son by the name of Joseph. Joseph had a dream. Then he had another dream. In this dream, his brothers bowed down to him. Brothers didn't like him, very not happy with the dream he had. But this was not his doing. This is a dream that God showed him. And you can break it down because I don't have time to get into all of it, but two different dreams. And these dreams came to be some time later. But God showed him in advance the plans that God had for him before the plans came to be. So when you have dreams, when you have visions, it might be very well for you to record these because it could be God trying to reveal to you the purpose and plans he has for you. So when you have some time, go and spend time talking to God and start asking him, Lord, reveal to me the purpose and plans that you have for me. As dreams start to come, as visions start to come, write those down because God could be trying to reveal to you the plans that he has for you. Because remember what Jeremiah 29:11 says. For I know the plans I have for you, declareth the Lord. So the Lord is saying, I have plans for you. It is your job to go to God and find out what are those plans. And I will be with this help putting something together and showing you how I have found out and how God helps me to see what my plans are. And I believe he will do the same thing for you. And this is why we're talking about this. So God has a plan for us all. Now it's our job to get to him. Find out from him what are those plans. And we'll be talking about that in the upcoming lessons. Thank you for bearing with me. Lord, I want to thank you for having plans for me. And I know you only have my best at heart. And I thank you for allowing me to come to you, listen to you, and find out what are those plans that you have for me. I thank you for taking time out of your schedule and putting plans in place for me. You are an amazing God, and I just want to say thank you for all that you do for me each and every day. Thank you for being my God. In Jesus' name.